Okay, so if you're a business leader, you definitely know this feeling. It's that constant frustration where your CRM is painting this beautiful, rosy picture, but your bank account is telling a completely different and, frankly, much more stressful story. In this explainer, we're going to dig into why that happens and show you a whole new way to finally get your data and your revenue on the same page.
Right? You log in and the dashboard looks incredible. It's just a sea of green. Your pipeline is packed with deals that are all marked negotiation or proposal sent. Your team is logging calls, they're logging meetings, and it feels like you are right on the edge of a record-breaking quarter. Everything is looking up.
But then, the end of the quarter rolls around, and reality hits you like a ton of bricks. A lot of those promising deals, they've just gone cold. And that revenue forecast you built on all that optimistic CRM data, well, it turns out it was a total house of cards. It's a really painful, and honestly, a super common experience for so many businesses.
So what's actually going on here? Is the system just broken? Is your team not trying hard enough? The truth is, the problem goes a little deeper than that. It's not really about the tool itself. It's all about the data that's supposed to be fueling it. So let's peel back the layers and get to the real heart of the issue.
Here's the core problem, and it's a big one. Your CRM data is dying. You have to think of it less like a library of facts and more like a living thing that is constantly getting older and less accurate. And that's exactly where the disconnect begins.
First off, you've got what we call the human bottleneck. I mean, let's be honest, we hire salespeople to sell, right? To build relationships, to persuade, not to be expert data entry clerks. After a long day of calls and meetings, updating the CRM is the last thing on their mind. And because of that, critical details get missed, information gets lost, and the data just becomes totally unreliable.
And then there's this other relentless problem called data decay. Even if your team was perfect at data entry, that information starts getting old almost the second it's entered. A key contact might leave their company, a budget gets slashed, a competitor swoops in, your CRM basically becomes a perfect snapshot of a past that doesn't exist anymore, which makes your forecasts less and less accurate every single day.
So you might think, okay, why not just automate everything? Well, here's the catch. Traditional automation is, well, it's kind of dumb. A simple rule might see the word proposal and move a deal forward, but has no idea how to tell the difference between your proposal is a home run and, yeah, your proposal is way too expensive. It completely misses the most important thing, the actual human intent behind the words.
So, if human input is unreliable and the old school automation is just too simple, what's the answer? Well, it's time we start thinking about a completely new way of doing things. Let's talk about the rise of the AI employee. See, the solution isn't to go out and buy another piece of software or add a more complicated dashboard. It's a fundamental shift in how we think about the problem. We need to hire a new kind of employee, one that can perfectly and seamlessly bridge that huge gap between real human conversations and your data systems.
And this is what we call the Living CRM Model. It all starts with the natural conversations your team is already having. Calls, emails, meetings. Then the AI employee steps in. It doesn't just transcribe what was said, it understands the intent behind it. This lets it automatically update your CRM with perfect accuracy, which then kicks off intelligent, real-time actions and workflows. The data loop is finally closed.
So, we have the model, but what does this actually mean for your business on a day-to-day basis? Let's look at the real-world impact you get when you shift from that old manual CRM to a living, intelligent system.
The change is just night and day. Before, you were basically flying blind. You had lagging updates, forecasts that were all over the place, and you were making huge decisions based on gut feelings. Afterwards, you have a living CRM. You get real-time data sync, forecasts that are actually precise, and you can finally have the confidence to make data-driven decisions that actually move the needle for your business. So how does this AI employee actually pull all this off? Well, it starts by transcribing calls instantly so you have a perfect record. But here's the magic. It goes a step further by extracting the true intent. It knows the difference between a customer being polite and a genuine buying signal. That lets it assign the correct deal stages and trigger the right automated workflows every single time. And the result? Your data is always pristine and always up to date.
Now, this might sound like a massive, complicated change, but putting this system in place is surprisingly straightforward. It's not about ripping out your current setup. It's about making it way, way smarter with a powerful new capability. Here's a simple 5-step plan to get going. First, we figure out exactly where your CRM is letting you down to find the biggest gaps. Then, we define the exact job description for your new AI employee. After that, we securely connect it to your communication channels, your phones, your email.
Then comes the cool part. We train it on your past conversations so it learns your unique business language, and finally, we deploy it, and it starts syncing your data in real time.
You see, when you solve the data input problem at the source, you fundamentally change what your CRM is. It stops being a static, out-of-date database, and it becomes a dynamic, real-time revenue operating system. It becomes the true engine that drives your business growth.
Look, this isn't some far-off future technology. This is the new standard for high-performing teams, right now. If you're ready to stop guessing and start knowing, visit installaisystems.com to see how you can bring your CRM to life. The only real question left is, can you afford to keep operating in the dark?